Hello everyone and welcome to my stamp studio. I am super excited. I have a really light, airy, and kind of delightful class for us tonight. I'm super excited about it. It's one of our new products in our May to August catalog. If you don't have a demonstrator and you haven't gotten a catalog, reach out to me. Let me know. I'd love to send you one. So yeah, I've been loving this stamp set, and it's actually a bundle. It's a stamp and a punch, and it's made some really, sorry, I'm adjusting here. I made some really cute cards, and I've just been playing a lot with it. It was our May club, our card club stamp set that we used, but I have all new cards. So if you got the May card club, ooh, you're in for another surprise. You're going to be loving these cards. I had so much fun. I can't wait to share them with you. So I'm going to hurry. I'm going to flip down my camera and we're going to get started. So if you get dizzy, close your eyes. It'll just take me a moment to adjust my camera here. Yeah, I don't have the fancy schmancy setup that some people do. I have the manual move my phone by myself. Okay, I just need to move a couple things out of my way. Now, tonight's class is 8 cards. We're making 2 of each design. I'm actually only going to be making 1 of each card, but you'll be the class kit does contain everyone for 2 of each card. And let's see what else. Oh yeah, it's really a great deal. So I'm going to show you what the card, the actual class kit looks like that you'll be getting shipped to you. And then, yeah, we'll start making the cards, and I will have a link as soon as this video is over. I'll put the link for registration right in the description or in the comments of the Facebook video and in the description of the, YouTube video. Ooh, boy, I sure hope I don't lose my words more tonight. But this class is $49 if you want the whole class. You can get everything that I'm going to show you in just a moment. And if you want to add the bundle, it's $91. So it's really a great deal because you do save tax, shipping, and handling when you add the bundle to your class. So here is our little class kit. I'm just going to, got a little fuzzy in there, move this off to the side. So you can, I just had to move that light was right in my face. You can actually add the bundle to your class. So you get a half a package of the Beautifully Ordinary Designer Series paper. And it is anything but ordinary, let me tell you. Let me just pull out, I have my stuff pull aside right here. So look at this awesome paper. Isn't it gorgeous? I've got more to show you. And what's so fun about this is on one side you have all this fabulous color, but on the other side it's black and white. So let's see. Let's check out the both sides here. So here's your black and white. I love these colors. They just, I don't know, they make me happy. They make me feel like spring is here. Yeah. And this we're going to be using tonight. We're going to be using a lot of this designer series paper, and then you'll have some left over in your class kit to make more cards, all right? So the, like I said, you get the polka dots are really cute. We'll be using that. All right, let me put this back right there. And then you're going to get 4 little packages of class kits here. And each package has everything that you need to make your cards. You will need your own stamps, inks, the stamp and punch, and adhesive. So you need to supply that yourself. I don't supply any of that. And anything that's not part of this, bundle here, the flowers and the butterflies, I'll have done for you. I'm actually using the scallop blooms dies with this. I actually just need to add this on to the class registration. So if you're interested in adding this to your class, you can do that as well. So I just need to add that before I post it. That's why it's not posted right now. All right, we're going to get started. Oh, in addition to your 8 cards. So each of these packets here have 2 sets of cards. You're going to be getting the crisp cantaloupe ribbon, and then you'll be getting the array of dots embellishments. So you're getting a full bolt of ribbon, full bolt of embellishments, and a half a package of designer paper. So let me put this kit back together here, because this is someone's kit already. It's just easier for me to show. And I will have a little label on your kit here. It'll be a link to the YouTube video so you can watch it again and again. I do send out a email to you with the PDF tutorial with the step-by-step directions, so you'll have all of that. And let's get going. Let's see, what else do I have to tell you before we start stamping? Oh, Sunday. Make sure to join me on Sunday, because I'm doing a new product party. So I'm going to be featuring 6 different projects using new products from our online exclusives and our new catalog. And you'll be hearing all the different specials I'm going to have to offer for that as well. But that starts Sunday morning. I'm going to be doing a coffee clutch, and then we'll do a little lunch break, and then we'll have a happy hour. So lots of things to share with you on Sunday. I can't wait. I've got my little piles kind of all sorted out through my studio so I can show you things. I have like 60 different swap cards to share. I may not share all of them, but I'll share quite a few of them. I'll give you some tips and tricks on some of the ways that I'm using the new product, and share with you some of the designer series paper. Okay, so let's get started though. The colors that we're going to be using for ink tonight are the Crisp Cantaloupe, our new hybrid basic black, and there's something on my desk that is just bother me. Pretty Peacock and Lemon Lolly. The other thing that you'll need to pull out is either a blending brush or a sponge or a dauber. I really like the blending brushes more than anything, because I'm going to be covering a larger piece of paper, so this works out really well. So let's put our stamp pads right up here, and let's get started on our first card. Do you want me to show you the card first, or should we just jump into making it? I think I'm going to show you. All right, so now in your card kit here, this particular card kit has your basic black, your basic white. That's going to be your inside layer here. And then you have 2 little banners. So this is for the other card here. Now I've already went ahead and cut out my designer paper. So remember that one big piece of paper that has all the different colors on it? We're going to be using that, and the card that we're going to be making is right here. All right, so let's get started. You have to decide. You have to pick one part of the paper you want to use. And I kind of just like put my ribbon over it and said, ooh, well, I kind of like this. I think I'm going to go with, I'm going to go with, oh, I don't know. They're so hard to choose from. I'm going to go with this one. All right. So you will get to pick from your paper how you want to cut it. This is just simply a 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece. And I need to put this back in the other kit. All right. And then you'll also need a strip of designer series paper. And I took the little honeycomb one. I'm going to be using this black and white side, and this is 1 inch by 5 1/2 inch, because it's going to go all the way across like that. All right, so we're going to start with just moving my things about here. So I've got this little stand. I'm going to put my card in there so I can make sure I'm going through the steps. Now, again, I do have a tutorial on this, so you will be able to follow the tutorial and do it on your own time or rewatch the video. Okay, so I like to use a little foam mat when I'm stamping with my basic black. This is a new pad. It's different than the StazOn and different than Memento. It's kind of a combo of both. So you can use it for watercoloring, or you can use it for your blends. Before, we always had to use the 2 different inks. Now this one is one that will work for both. But I have found, and I'll give you some tips as we're stamping along here, that I needed to do just a little more with that. Now, I also need to get out my scrub here. I don't need my mouse, and I don't need my pencil. Put my cards up here. My ribbon here. Okay, so now when I ask where to put everything, it's over right on my computer. Okay, and yeah, we're going to use my scrub here, and I'm going to go ahead and grab my mist because I'm going to need to clean my stamp right away. So let's just go ahead and get this on the wet side. So these little raindrops over there, that's the side that I get wet first. You can use a Stays-On cleaner too. Now I'm gonna tell you, this will stain your stamps. I mean, the more you use it, that's what happens. It happens. All right. So I'm grabbing my All Aflutter here. Let's just get this protective cover off. And look at how cute this set is. What I like about it is these are not individual. They're actually a set of 3 on one stamp, but they're made so that they can layer on top of each other. So we'll be using the different techniques as we go through this. And I really wish I could see people's comments because I want my chat here. All right. Also, I would love for you to not only like interact with me here, chat with me while we're doing this, but if you would share my videos, that helps me get out in the world, and Facebook and YouTube really like when people share. It just kind of draws more attention to my business. So I'd really appreciate that. All right. Okay. What am I doing first here? I'm going to stamp on my designer paper. I loved stamping on designer series paper, and it's one thing that I tend to forget about doing. So I'm just going to take this really detailed die here, a detailed stamp, and I'm going to use my black. Now, yes, it is stained, but it's okay. I've actually gone on my yellow and my peach with it and not had any problems. Now, one of the things is it dries pretty quick, especially like if you have your ceiling fan on. So get it inked up and then stamp right away. So when you stamp, just hold it there for a moment or two. I like to make sure the ink like absorbs into the paper. And there we go. How pretty is that? So then I'm going to take my next one. I've also found actually that I like to do my stamp to my ink to my stamp. For some reason, it just works better for me. Not saying you have to do it that way, but it just works better for me. All right. And now I just need a couple down here. So I'm going to just slide my little mat under my paper. And I'm going to bring this over here, and we're going to just put our butterflies right there. Oh, that one didn't really stamp all that well. Okay, well, I'll do something to cover it up. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and stamp this off a couple times on my paper, and then I'll take it over to my cleaner. I have found that keeps my stamp a little bit less discolored. Okay, we'll just leave that on there. The next thing I want to stamp is going to be my little scallop tag here. So I'm going to select my stamp that says fluttering by to say hi. So I'm going to take that. And then I'm going to stamp it up towards the top right here. Stamp it off a couple times and then clean it. You can use your chamois too. I'm just using my scrub. All right. We'll get this covered because we're done with our stamping. We'll move this out of the way. All right. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in a couple of my blends. I'm going to bring in my Lost Lagoon blends. And I'm just going to simply color on here. And sorry, my light is shining right in the corner of my eye. So it doesn't matter what row you do. It depends on how you cut your paper here. So I'm just going through this, I don't know what, chevron, is that the shape, design? When I was playing around, I tried different colors, and I found that Lost Lagoon is the color I like best. Even though one of the colors in the paper is peacock, it just was a little too dark for me. All right, then I'm going to take my light. Well, you know what? Let's see. 1, 2, 1, 2. All right, we're going to do this one right here. I'm doing 2 rows of dark. And then I'll do 1 row of light. Now, if you like just the black and white paper alone and don't want to color it, or don't have blends or markers or watercolor pencils or colored pencils, you don't have to color it. I just felt like I needed some color in there. All right. And now we're just going to go pick a line. My original card, it worked out really good. I had like just enough spaces. I had like 2 chevron rows in between each color. This piece didn't quite work out that way. That's okay. I probably could have gone up a row when I did that one. So this strip was 5.5 by 1 1/4 inch. I think I might have said 1 inch, but it's not 1 inch. It's 1 1/4. Okay. Next I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of take a look at where, pick that up, where I want to line this up. And you know, I have that boo-boo on the bottom. I think I'm going to cover my boo-boo up. All right. So on my original card, I did have it a little higher, but this is the part about crafting. You can hide your boo-boos. All right. So I'm just going to line that up right there. And yep, I'm going to call it a day. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to flip this over. I'm going to take my adhesive and run it along the bottom right here. All right. Then I'm going to line this back up with the bottom. And I'm going to, oops, my adhesive ran too far over. There we go. I'm going to go just off the edge just a little bit when I put this on. There we go. I'll flip it over. Actually, I want to go a little higher. Oh, please, why? Move this up just a tad because it's changing where I originally had it on my card. I can adjust that a little bit. All right, so now I'm just going to go ahead and put some adhesive on the back of here. And before I put it on, let's go ahead and just put this layer onto my black. So my black was cut at 4 1/4 by 11, and then I folded it in half, so I scored it at 5 1/2. All right, so it's just like this. And we have this one right here again. I'm going to hide my boo-boo. I'm going to go all the way to the edge. And when I'm going down, I'm leaving a little bit of that black showing on the bottom. I do cover up one of the butterflies, but that's okay. All right, now we need our cantaloupe ribbon. Does anyone remember that we actually had this color before? Just saying. It was a while ago when we had baked brown sugar and pistachio. Does anyone else remember those colors? I know, I'm dating myself, but I have been a demonstrator for 23 years. And before that, I did a lot of scrapbooking. And even when I first started demonstrating, I did a combination always of cards and scrapbooks. In fact, all of my clubs we did home decor, scrapbook, and cards. So we do one of each. Well, we do always 2 cards, but all right. So I got my little bow right there. We're going to take our scissors and trim that. I see my ribbon's a little frayed, so we'll just trim that off. All right. Now, the pièce de résistance. I'm going to add my embellishments here. Super quick card. So I have some that are quick, some that are a little bit more, I don't want to say difficult, but more in depth, you know, more things to it. So now the color in here is Flirty Flamingo, but it still goes pretty good with the colors in this paper, which is also Flirty Flamingos with that cantaloupe. That's why I chose that one. All right, so I'm going to kind of give a mixture of my dots here. And I think we'll do this medium yellow. And then we'll use a small pool party right at the top. All right, just to add a little something. So based on what, you know, what color, what portion of that paper you get a little bit different design. And then just really, where do you want to put your strip? All right, so that is our first card. Let's put that off to the side. All right, next card. I'm going to move this off to the side. This out of the way. All right, you ready to see our next card? All right, nice and basic one. This time I'm actually going to step it up by using my Wink of Stella. You can add this to your class if you want, if you don't already have it. But we're going to stamp, and then we're going to stamp again. We're going to do a 2-step stamping, and then we're going to go ahead and take our Wink of Stella. So I'm just shaking that up ahead of time. All right. So let's grab our next kit here. And, oh, I think I went out of order. Oh, well. I'll make sure when I package this up that this is number 2. All right. So for this card, I'm using a thick basic white as my base. So again, I got my 2 cards in there. I only need to be using 1 right now. 2. And we'll put this right here. I am going to be using my embossing tonight. So I've got my thick white. 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. I'm just going to take my bone folder here and give it a nice press. Yeah, my bone folder is well loved and used. All right. Then I have a piece of Lost Lagoon, and this measures 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. I do have a piece of basic white. This is not your layer. This is to stamp on. And then I have a little piece of Lost Lagoon that I've die cut, and I'm doing that die cutting for you using our scallop blooms here. So I'm using this piece right here. I love that I have all the different scallops to choose from. This was the little tag that we used on our original card, our first card. So different ways to use this. I haven't used all the pieces yet, but I'm going to. All right. Why don't we go ahead and just stamp that and get that out of the way first. So I'm going to bring back in my little mat here, just because I'm working on a very hard surface. All right, and I need my Versamark. That is one thing I did forget to put in there, that we do need a Versamark. Okay, so this is going to say fluttering by to say hi. I'm just going to go ahead and take this and stamp it off a couple times just to make sure I don't have any other ink on there. The other thing I'm going to want to do is I do want to, now I put away my embossing buddy, so I'm going to risk it and not, oh no, it's right here. I am going to do it. All right. I'm just wiping that powder on there. What it does is it removes the static so that your embossing powder sticks to what it should and not everywhere else. All right. So I'm going to get my embossing powder open. Now, I use my embossing powder a lot. So I bought these little containers from the dollar store, and I have it here. Okay. I seem to, as I'm getting older, I seem to go a little slower when I'm stamping. So sometimes things kind of dry. So I want to make sure that I have my embossing powder ready to go I used to be able to stamp even with my classic pads and be able to get my embossing powder on there before it would dry. Versamark takes a little bit longer, so you have some time. You have a little bit of given that. All right. Tip on embossing. Close your Versamark pad. Close your powder before you would start embossing, because what can happen is, number one, you could heat your powder and then it would get stuck in there. I'm going to tap that off just a little bit there. Okay. I'm going to grab my little utensil here so I can hold that. Shake this off. And I do like to make sure that all my work stuff is kind of free from powder. But most important, as you can tell, I've forgotten to put my lid on, so my Versamark pad's all kind of yucky. I actually had to completely wash all the ink out to get all the embossing powder out and then re-ink it. So don't do what I did. All right, let's get our gun here. And while I'm waiting for that, I just want to see if there's any other comments. I just don't know why Facebook is so slow with loading comments. Chevron. Okay, 5.5. 5.5 or 4.25. It's a 5.5 inch. My strip on this first card was 5.5 inch. 5.5 inches long and 1.25 inch high. All right, so I've got my heat tool ready to go here. And my lighting is kind of goofy in the studio tonight. I have so much sunlight coming in from my west window. But I had to close that door. Put that out of the way. And now my dog is whining outside the door. Don't know if you can hear him, so I need to open it up. So this side of this room is actually on the east side of my house, but the hallway has a lot of windows, and when I have the door open, it all comes in. All right. So got that piece done. I can put that away. All right. Ooh, that was hot. Okay. Now I'm going to grab out some more of my paper because I can. Let's see, what did I do with this kit? That's this kit. So I'm just going to put my kits with my cards here. I did cut my paper up ahead of time. Oh, I guess I didn't do this piece. Okay. I need a piece of 3x4. And I'm going to go to my scraps here. So, like I said, I've been playing with this quite a bit. So I've got scraps here. And I need the piece. Oh, I think I've already used it. Okay. I need this piece right here. And I'm going to cut this to be 3 inches by 4 inches. So I'm just going to cut it right at 4. I'm going to cut my whole strip here. So when I'm doing 12 by 12 work, I tend to have 4-inch strips that I use. Just makes it easier. Because if I'm going to do a card layer, it's usually 4 by 5.5, 4 by 5.25. All right. Okay. So now I'm going to just layer this on here. Oh, I did forget a piece, and I will have to do this. I thought I had all my pieces in a row, but I guess not. All right. I'm pretty sure on all the other projects I have everything. Here I was all excited that I had everything all set. I was kind of proud of myself. Oh, well. All right. Now I'm going to take my little fluttering by here, and I'm going to pop this up on dimensionals. Take that off. Put that right in this, so not quite the center. I'm going up just a little bit here, and I'm going to tie my bow. Grab out my glue dot. Does anyone have any fun plans for this weekend while I'm tying my bow? All right, let's get our scissors back. I have a dedicated scissors for cutting ribbon because paper can dull your scissors, and when I go to cut my ribbon and I'm using a dull pair of scissors, oh, there's nothing worse than that. Oh, I was going to put my my ribbon where my glue dots go. That's not what I want. Okay, so now I've got my glue dot here, and I'm just going to take my ribbon, my bow, right to my glue dot. My original sample, I was in another part of my house, so I didn't have a glue dot handy. I had to use liquid glue, and I can tell you it did not work as well. All right. Okay. Next, I need to grab a piece of my pretty peacock here. Oh, here it is. I did it. I just didn't cut it out. All right. So in your kit, you're going to be getting a piece of pretty peacock that I've actually embossed with our new embossing folder. I just got it in the other day, and I thought, ooh, I want to replace it with the one I originally used because I really like this fern pattern. I'm just trying to see where I put the embossing folder. I don't have it handy, so, well, I guess I'll show that to you on Sunday. You'll see it Sunday. Okay. Yeah, I put everything away, so, all right. Okay, so this strip right here is going to be measured at, I think it's, this one's 1 1/4. I don't know why I decided to go 1 1/4 with everything today, but I did. So, we're just going to cut this one in half. And I'm just trying to see. I don't like that side, so I'm going to go right here. All right. And then the other piece you'll have, I'm doing it as a larger piece, so you'll just cut it in half for your two. Okay, now let's grab our card base. Put that back where it belongs. And we're just going to go ahead and adhere that. Now, this is 5 1/4 inch long. So it's 1 1/4 by 5 1/4. And I'm going to grab liquid glue just because there's so much texture to it. Can you see the texture on there? So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Because I wanted to make sure that stays adhered to my card front. I don't want it curling up, popping off. All right. And I'm just eyeballing center. I'm not measuring. If you'd like to measure, you can. To me, that's just a little bit much. And then we're going to pop this on the front. And I am going to actually use dimensionals on here. So let's put some dimensionals. This card is actually going to be pretty dimensionalized, if that's a word. Because our butterflies are also going to be up on dimensionals. All right. Now for the butterflies, I'm going to be using my mini dimensionals here. I find it just works better. All right, so here we go. So we're going to center that right on our card. Looking cute so far. All right, next we need to go ahead and bring in our stamp pad again. Our stamp pad. Why do I keep calling this a stamp pad? It's a stamp. Duh, Beth. Okay, and in your kit here, I don't know what I, oh, there it is. No, that's not it. I don't know what I did with the extra piece. Oh, that extra piece was from our first card. No wonder. I didn't do the inside for the first card. We'll go back. Okay, so you've got this little piece here. Oh, it's right here. All right, put that back in that kit. All right, so on this piece right here, I'm going to just take my black again. And ink that up. I just want to make sure my stamp is nice and juicy there. And I'm just going to put it right down here. I actually gave you 2 pieces in your kit, but this one piece is more than enough, right? So while I have this out, I just want to show you another way that you can do this. Okay. And is this going to fit? Oh, I don't know if it's going to. Oh, yeah. I don't think it will. Never mind. Good thing I gave you 2 pieces. Okay, let's get this cleaned up. All right. Now I'm going to come in with my little solid image here. And sometimes when you put this on your block, this can like twist and turn. So here's a tip. Line it up on here first. All right. And it's sticking to my fingers. So I'm lining it up on there. Now I can take my block, pick it up. That way I know it's going to go right back over. So we're going to grab our cantaloupe. And I'm just going to show you here where I stamped on my scrap paper down here. You can do this in full force, or you can do it later. So I'm going to do this one in full force right here. So I'm looking through my stamp. I'm going to stamp. So you get a pretty dark image. But if you want it a little bit lighter, you'd stamp again. And it's a really light one. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp the really light one. And if we don't like it, we can flip it over and use the other side and use the dark one. All right, so I'm going to stamp it off once. And then I'm going to get stuff out from under my paper. And then I'm going to look through my stamp and stamp it again. There we go. I'm just going to hold it down, let the ink kind of soak in. There we go. And now I have a nice, just very pastel looking butterfly. But if you like the darker butterfly, if you like it more bold and bright, you can definitely do that too. All right, so now that I've done that, I'm going to take my Wink of Stella and I'm just going to paint the butterflies. Before I do that though, I actually do want to show you the other technique that you can use with this. So this is actually taking your, you can take your stamp pad and get some of your ink right here on the lid. I don't always like to do that myself. So I'm going to grab one of my blocks and I'm just going to put some ink right on my block like that. Right. Then I'm going to stamp my butterflies a second time here so you can see this other technique. Make sure I got this stamped really well. Okay. All right. So you can see some of that color beading up on there. That's fine. I'm going to bring in my Wink of Stella and I'm going to give it a little bit of a squeeze here. Now, the other 2 times I did this, my Wink just like went crazy and exploded all over. So I don't know that's going to do that now. All right. So now I'm just going to mix my Wink and my ink and get some winky ink. All right. This is the original way that I was doing it, so you can kind of see it a little bit better there. And then I just started slowly painting. And go back in and grab a little bit more dark. I love that it just like shimmers while it's sitting there in the wet ink. Okay. And you can do, you know, your different butterflies different ways. So you can start, you know, with the darker on the inside. Leave it white. I'm going to come and do this a little bit. But I find this very relaxing to do. Right. See, we have a little bit darker, so I'm going to show you what that looks like here. Let's get all these done. Because once we punch them out, we can figure out which ones we want to use, right? All right, just need a little more wink on there. So I'm just squeezing it. And like I said, it gobbed out earlier. I mean, it just went everywhere. So I don't know how much is left in here. All right. Oh, yeah, so now it's a little bit thick. So I'll just go around here. All right, so I made a kind of messy one on this one, but we'll get over it, right? Okay, so I'm going to put this one aside to dry. Now I'm going to take this other one that we did, and I am just going to grab a little bit more color here, and I'm just going to add color kind of randomly on my butterfly. Like, I'm not going to color the whole thing. I'm just going to add a little bit there. All right. This one, let's see, I don't know. This one's so hard. I think I might just do kind of the main wing here and then just leave a little bit lighter. Okay. But it's, you know, up to you. Play around with it so you can kind of see the difference. So that's when I colored it in, and that's when I did the two colors. I really like how this one turned out. This was originally what I did for my card, but I like how this is turning out. So I think we're going to be going with this one. And again, I'm just going to do the inside area of my wings here. And right down in here. There we go. Okay. Then to clean that, I'm just going to wipe it off on my paper until it's running clear again. And then I'll close it back up. I do like to clean this right away. I don't advise leaving your wink dry on your block, because what happens then is you get the shimmery, glittery stuff stuck on your block. All right. So once I have it wiped off, I can clean it later, but I just like to get it wiped off right away. Okay, I'm going to clean my other blocks while I have a moment here. I want to let those dry before I punch them out. But I love how the punch lines up. I don't have to try and line it up. It just lines up. It's so nice. I'm like, wow, you know, I've struggled with some of the punches before. You know, when they're not like, when they're all different, like stamped different ways, like they're all individual stamps. But by having this as one stamp, it lines up with this really well. Okay. I'm going to move Versamark because I'm not using it. I don't think I'm using the black again. We'll move my glue out of the way. All right. Okay. Let's go ahead and punch these out. So I'm just going to slide this in. And like I said, it lines up pretty well. Sometimes you have to trim down your paper a little bit. But if you stamp towards the bottom of your paper, you can usually get them in. So there we go. And you know what? I don't want to do those. I'm just going to use these. All right. We'll move that off to the side. We'll bring back in our card base right here. And now I'm just going to add my dimensionals to the back of my butterflies. So let's get our little minis here. And I'm going to randomly just sprinkle my butterflies on. out. Peel off my backings. Yeah, the last couple of days I've designed about 4 different classes, so I've been pretty busy. All right. Put that one there. And I think we'll put the smaller one right over here. And then my larger one will go over here. And turn them whichever way you want, right? I just like this card. It's so cute. This is actually an idea I got from Michelle Litweiler. She's in my, I'm on the same team as her. So, yeah, she shares a lot of things. And this is one of the card designs that she did. I changed it up a little bit by the colors I used and the embossing folder I used. Just change it up a little bit. Okay, let's see. I'm going to add some embellishments. I'm going to go with the peacock, I think. So I'll put one right here. I'll put another one over here. And we'll use some of our larger pool party ones. Let's see, we'll put another one over here. Okay, I need one more. I feel like well, no, I guess that kind of balances because it's 7 items on the front, right? I think I'm okay with that. All right. Again, every time I do a card, it's a little bit different because I just change where I position things. So this was my original that I painted just flat from my block, and I didn't stamp first, and this is where I stamped it and then I colored it. I really like how this one turned out better. All right. Okay, that was card number 2. All right, card number 3. Here we're going. We're cruising. Let's put this with my kit. All right. Let's move. I don't want to keep having extra pieces out here, so I just need to put those away. I think I need my blue. Oh, maybe I cut it already. I probably did. I think that was the only one I forgot to cut. Okay. Next kit. Move my stamps out of the way. I'll need to use more stamps on this one. All right. Now, this is the one with all the scallops and everything in it. There's quite a few pieces. So, go ahead and pull. When you pull this out, just pull the peacock, that largest peacock out, just slide it out, and you'll have everything layered in here that you need for each card. All right, so here, this isn't going to actually be a card that opens, but I do have a 5.5 by 4 1/4 base, and this is pretty peacock. I then have a piece of basic white that's 4 by 5 1/4. I'm sorry, did I say this is 5.5 by 4 1/4? This is 5 1/4 by 4. I then have a piece of peacock here, and let me get my directions because I don't remember what that's at. I think it's 2 3/4. No, 2.5 by 3 7/8 inch. No, that's not right. Sorry, it's 2 3/4 by 5 1/4, and then I scored it at 4 inches, 3 7/8 inch. The reason I did 3 7/8 inch is so it goes just a little bit below that. All right. I then have my designer series paper in here that I've already cut. I'm using the polka dots because I thought they were so cute to use. And I'm just going to go back here and see what other comments are there. All right, so let me refresh my screen. I do want to be able to answer any questions as you guys come through, but if anything, I'll go back after the video. You're still painting the inside? Oh, Beth. Oh, my goodness. Okay. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually take my pattern paper here, and I'm going to adhere it to my little flap for the front. All right. So we'll do that piece first. The last card that we're making is my favorite. I don't know why. I just love it. It made me so happy when I was making it. I mean, each of these cards did, I think, but these last two, I think, are my most favorites. Okay, so I've got that. Now, let's get out stamping here. So, I've got this little tag also. That was from our Scallop Blossoms. I'm pulling in my Pretty Peacock ink. And I'm going to grab the little word friend. So I'm going to get that stamped right on here. All right. Let's get that clean. Then I'm going to, trying to think what I'm going to grab, oh, I know what else I need. I need there's a little row of butterflies here. So I need that. So let's grab my skinny block here. And that I'm going to stamp on my white. But I'm going to stamp it off because this is really dark. So I'm just going to stamp it off on my paper. And then I'm going to just stamp it in this corner. Like so. Okay. Now, before I stamp my inside, I know this is kind of risky to do. I am going to adhere this together to my base. Okay, so this is just a flat quarter sheet. But I want to adhere this one together. And part of this is because I'm going to stamp a sentiment on here that's going to extend past here. So I really need to know where it's going to go. So what I like to do is you don't necessarily have to adhere it, but tuck that in so you know where that's going to be. I'm going to take my long block here. And I am stamping. What am I stamping in here? Oh, you are so appreciated. So it's a nice long sentiment. Now, on my original sample, I did it in black, but I think I'm going to do it in peacock this time. So when I'm stamping this, I just want to make sure that my U doesn't go past that. I'm stamping a little bit up, not quite centered. All right, now that I got my stamping done, and I didn't make any boo-boos, woohoo! It's always an exciting thing, right? I'm going to go ahead and adhere these together. So let's put some adhesive on this flap here. And just want to line that up so it's nice and straight. All right, then I'm going to put my adhesive on here. And we'll put it right onto our base. I got that song, It's All About the Bass, in my head. Okay, now I have a scallop. So this is one of the scallops. I love this little scallop with the little stitching there. So this is basic beige, and this one is pool party. So we're going to be adhering these two together. So I'm just going to actually grab my liquid glue. And just kind of go in a circle motion like that. And the reason I do that is because when I line it on here, sometimes I like to move my scallops so they line up a little bit better. And I found my liquid glue will give me that little bit of wiggle room that I need. All right. Now, I need to bring in my card base. And I just need to see where I'm going to put this. So this is going to be more like a flower than a scallop. But here's the thing. I want to be able to cover all my word there. So I know I have to go out this far. I'm also going to be putting my little word friend on here. All right. So decide where you want that to go. Once you've decided that, I'm going to go ahead and just put my liquid glue on. And I'm just putting it on the left side there. And I'm going to set it right there. Okay. Now I just look where that comes, and I know that I really can't go beyond here. So when I flip this over, I'm just going to carefully make sure I don't go too far over with my glue. But I want it far enough. I feel like I have ink everywhere. Like I'm getting ink all over. All right. So I have that here. All right. So now it's got like a little hidden message there. All right. Next, we are going to... What did I do with them? I know I popped them out. Where did they go? Oh, I didn't do them yet. That was the other card. Okay. We're going to do our butterflies now. And the first one I'm going to do, we have three different butterflies here. So the first one is more of a detail. So that's that black one that I used. This is more of a detailed one. Again, I'm just going to put this down and then pick it up. This next one does, well, I'll just show you what it does. Actually, I'm just going to go this way. I'm going to stamp it in my lower corner here. Actually, if I stamp it this way, I can get more butterflies out of there. All right. Again, not pushing really hard, just pressing it down, letting that ink soak in. If you don't like it so dark, you can hold it down again. It's going to be super faint, all right? This will lighten up a little bit, but it depends on what you like. If you like it really faint or you want it a little bit more bold. Then the other one I'm going to grab is going to be my detailed one. And use my pretty peacock here. I'm going to stamp two of them. So one. Again, hold it down for a moment. Two. All right. Another way that you can do this is you can actually take your white. So I'm going to take my white over here. Let's try this one because that one got colored. And I need to clean this. I just want to show you different ways to use this. So let's grab our solid image again. And I'm going to go right here. Now the ink pads, you know, the new ones are really juicy, so it gets really dark like that. So that's why I'm stamping it off. Now, if you don't like the cantaloupe, you can use a different color that coordinates with everything in there. And then I'm going to come back in with my detail. So this is, again, tone on tone. And normally I stamp the detail one first just because this one got so stained. And then you'd have that look. I don't like how that looks, so I'm just going back with this one. And I don't like how it looks just because I should have stamped this one first. Because this is so dark, I can't see through it anymore. So, all right. All right. So now we're going to go ahead and grab our punch again. Flip upside down. And I'm going to punch out all the butterflies. Alright, go over here. We'll even do the light ones too, because maybe I'll mix and match. I don't know. We'll see. You can do whatever you'd like. I mean, play with it. Have fun with it. Alright. And we've got our pretty peacock on our pool party here. Now, I don't have the measurement of this one down. It's just a scrap. Use what you got. You can get more butterflies out of there too if you wanted. All right. So now I got that done. Let's bring back in our card. I do want to add a bow on here, so let's grab our ribbon again. Now, you could definitely wrap this around and tie a bow. I'm just getting really low on my ribbon. I've been doing a lot of things with this, so. Like, I don't even know if I have my swap card handy. I think I do. Oh, yeah. Well, I'm tying that. This was a swap card that I actually made. So you can see I made 21 of these. So that's why I ended up using a lot of ribbon. Scissors here and just give our bow a haircut. A little trim. Never hurt anyone. Get off the split ends. All right. My paper keeps sliding around. I'm not used to that. And so if I get out of frame, try to get my attention. So I get back in frame. All right. Let's grab glue dot again. Yeah, glue dots are my preferred way of putting on ribbon. And I'm just going to put this in the bottom corner down here. Okay, let's just check out all of our pretty little butterflies here. So we've got all these little butterflies. We're going to use quite a few of them. If I can get them all turned over. All right. Okay, and so I'm going to start with my largest one here. I want my largest one to be right over here. And I'm going to pop it up on dimensionals. I really feel like having these up on dimensionals kind of brings them more to life. Springs a little bit into them. So I'll go ahead and do that. Oh, I'm going to go this way with it. All right, now I want a large butterfly here in cantaloupe. And this one, I'm going to cover part of my tag there, like that. All right, then we'll take another butterfly, and I think I'm going to put this one right here. And I'm going to use my liquid glue. And I'm just kind of smearing it around with the tip. I'm not squeezing anymore. I'm just smearing it around. And we're going to just tuck it right there. Just like so. Hold it down for a moment. Then we're going to get another one here. And I think I'm going to take this little one right here. And we're just going to put that one right up here. No, I don't know. We'll go that way. Oh, just put it in how you want. Maybe I'll use this little darker one. I think I'm going to go with the little darker one. Kind of got a mix and match thing going here. Again, I just want to make sure that my butterfly doesn't pop up and off. So put that one right. Oh, not right there. Not right there. Okay. Sorry. So I had to lift this open to make sure I wasn't covering the word you. Even though it's like behind there a little bit. All right, so I've got my 4 here. I've got my 2 here. And I am going to put another little one right here. I have a little smudge right there. So I'm going to put that one. You know what? No. I'm going to put him here. Or her. Him, her, it. He, she, they, you know. And we'll put this one over here on my little smudge my little smudging. All right. So now I got all sorts of little butterflies here. And I want to have one of the little ones. Do I have a little one yet? I guess, is that the littlest one? Yeah, okay. I just want to have another little one right there. But by stamping that in that peacock, it does kind of pop it out a little bit from my pool party scallop. Okay, now that that one's done, I can grab my embellishments here. And we're just going to sprinkle these all around. I think in this case, we're going to use some of the yellow. We'll put one right here. And I use just randomly going to plop these on. And we'll grab a large yellow one from over here. We'll go one over here. And let's see, I feel like I need one more. I think we'll do another little pool party one. Oh, it's stuck. Right over. Yeah. Okay. There we go. Ugh. Okay. All right. So that is our third card. We're cruising through here. We have one last card to do. And again, this is my favorite. I don't know why. It makes me smile. I really like this card. But this is our last card. I love the colors on it. I love everything. I just love everything about it. So we're going to pull open our next kit here. And this is Lemon Lolly. And just want to make sure I have my little tag here. There it is. Little tag. And this time, the paper we're grabbing is the back of this stripe one. While I really love, this is one of my favorite ones, I really like the back here. So, oh goodness, I don't know which one I'm going to use. I'm going to use this one. This one's going to take a little bit. It's not like it's difficult by any means. It just takes a little bit because we're going to be coloring. Now, I thought about doing it ahead of time, but there's a technique that I want to do as well as coloring it. So, I'm going to grab my blend here. So this is my first technique that I'm doing. And I'm just going to really, it's up to you how much yellow you want on there. All right. The more yellow you use, the more green your blend is going to look. And, oh, I got something on my pad. Hold on. All right. So some spots are going to be a little bit more yellow. My first one, I was pretty, I went pretty light on. This one I seem to have gone a little bit harder, darker on. Okay. There we go. All right. Next, we're going to bring in our Lost Lagoon blends. You choose whether you want to use your light or your dark. On my original sample, I used the light. Where did my original sample go? I used the light. On this one, we'll try the dark and we'll see how it goes. All right, so this I do need to concentrate because I'm using my brush end instead of my chisel. I just need to make sure I'm staying in the lines. But I can't wait to show you what the back of this looks like after we've done our coloring. So just bear with me. Chat amongst yourselves. So have you looked through the new catalog? What is your favorite thing? What is the thing that you just can't wait to get your hands on? Or maybe you've already gotten it. And have you seen the online exclusives? If anyone is a Winnie the Pooh lover, you're going to want to get that online exclusive. I don't think it's going to be there for long. I actually did not get it. And right now it was unavailable because the suite was unavailable because the embossing folder is not available at the moment. It's going to be coming back. It's just not available at the moment. But I would, if that's something you're interested in, I would get the bundle of the stamps and the paper right now. Don't wait for the embossing folder to come back, because you can always get that later. All right. And I was talking too much and I colored outside the line. Oh well. Yeah, this is kind of a bigger pattern. Like I said, I should have probably colored one in ahead of time and just kind of show you what I was starting with, but I didn't. Lesson learned, right? Next time I'll have to do that. Okay, I'm going to see if working with a chisel end works a little better for me. Usually at night, I have a little harder time doing my cards. I'm more of a morning person. Yeah, for me, measuring at night, oh my gosh, I can't measure anything at night. All right, so let's see what else I can talk about while I'm coloring these in. I feel like I need to fill the silence. Again, I really wish that I could play music in the background. It would be nice, but we all know the last time I did that, what happened. So I don't want to go to Facebook jail again. They were not happy when I did that. Okay, so let's see what else. Oh, the Fern and Flora bundle. Oh my God, that's gorgeous. I actually, the bundle's not available at the moment. The stamp set wasn't available. So I just actually ordered the dies because that's really what I liked. They are very delicate, but totally worth it. Oh, they're so pretty. I was torn between the Lily of the Valley and the Fern and Flora. And I had gotten Lily of the Valley, and I do like it. But then when I saw some of the swap cards with the Fern and Flora, I'm like, oh, I have to get that now. So I have enough sentiment sets and things like that that I can fill in the meantime. So we may just do a class on just using the dies. Those actually just came in. My order just came in yesterday or last night. So I really haven't had time to play too much with it yet. But I will have time this weekend because it's one of those I want to share on our new product party on Sunday. Okay. Again, if you like the cards that we're making tonight, you can get this class sent directly to you. It's what I refer to as a flash class, meaning I have it all set, ready to go. You just have to sign up for it. It'll be shipped out on around June 1st. The last day to get this class is May 21st. So again, the class is $49, and you get a full pack of embellishments. You get a full bolt of ribbon. You get a half a pack of designer paper, and you get the 8 card kits. Now, moving forward to try and keep costs down, I am not going to be including envelopes. The reason being is because the envelope prices went up. But what really went up is the shipping on everything. My shipping has gone up 8%. So for me to ship out classes, it's gone up. So try to use it always a basic flat rate so I know. And most of the time, you know, if my classes are over £1, it's going to cost to send it. So I usually do a flat rate then. So then it doesn't matter what the weight is. All right, I'm almost done, really. Got a couple more leaves. And I'm getting a little sloppy because I'm trying to hurry. So as you can see, this is a lot, not a lot darker, but it's quite a bit darker than my original card. I'll bring it in so you can see in just a moment here. But based on whatever blends you choose, you know, if you use a light blend or a dark blend, and also how much yellow you put on your paper. So I knew my leaves were going to be a little bit more green. That was my intention of using this. So, all right, so let's bring this in so you can see the difference in the two. But let me share with you what the back looks like. Look at how fun this is. So if you wanted a different kind of abstract pattern, you could color your leaves in, and if you decide you didn't like it, you could use the other side. I just thought it was pretty cool. All right. So I'm going to take my piece of designer series paper. So this was 4 by 5 1/4. I'm going to go ahead and adhere it right to my pretty peacock paper, which is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. All right, and we're going to just adhere that right to our card front. So this was a pretty easy card. It just was a little bit time consuming because of the coloring, but sometimes you need that color break, right? All right, so here we go here. All right, now our little tag here that we have, also in Lemon Lolly, we're going to stamp that using our pretty peacock again. Okay, and I'm going to stamp Thinking of You. But when I'm doing the Thinking of You, you all know my little secret with Scotch tape. This sentiment actually says, here we go. It actually says, Thinking of You today. But that won't fit on here. So, I need to compromise a little bit. And we're just going to take this one right here. So I'm going to cover up my today. Thinking of You today. Is this today? Yeah. So here's today. Cover it up. Stamp. Ink, 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 ink. And then make sure you throw this away. All right. Let me do that now before I get ink all over myself. And I still got ink all over myself. Okay. Well, anyways. So now I've got my Thinking of You. All right. I still need this out. Okay. Then we're going to, I'm going to go ahead and just adhere this on right now with my dimensionals. And I'm just going to put it right down here. Nice. So I'm just going right to the edge of my designer paper. I'm not extending past. And now I've got a piece of white here. So I'm going to take this, and I am taking the butterflies that are kind of more of a, they're not the detail, they're the ones right in between. So the in-between butterflies, and I'm stamping it with Pretty Peacock. So 1, and 2. All right, let's go ahead and punch these out. Oh, let's close it. Oh, I need that open yet. Okay. So just line up your butterflies. If you find your butterflies aren't lining up when you stamp, clean it, take it off your block, drop it onto your desktop, and then pick it up with the block. Because you might have twisted the stamp a little bit when you peeled it off the backing and put it on your block. All right. Now, we're going to bring this in. I'm going to open this up a little bit so it lays flat. Let's put our butterflies around. And I'm just dropping them here and there. Like I want the biggest one down here. And let me take the other. Okay. I feel like I'm missing one here. Oh, here. My other large one right there. And we have this one right here, and one of the small ones right here. Okay. I want 5 on here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And we'll put another small one up here, 5. Okay. Now, before I adhere those on, I'm going to take my little twisty curvy little dotted line is what I'm trying to say. We're going to take our dotted line and let me clean this off right away. Hold on. Sorry, I just wanted to get my block clean. My stamp clean, I mean. I don't know why I'm calling it a block tonight. Okay, so I've got this cute little design here for a little trail for my butterfly. So we're going to go ahead and I'm just going to start stamping on my paper. So then that's where I'm going to end up putting my little butterfly. All right. Now this one probably should have waited to put that on, but let's see if I can pick it up. Oh, I can. All right. Okay. Now that we've got those, we can go ahead and put our butterflies on with dimensionals. And I'm just going to use my large ones. Grins and Giggles. I'm just going to put 1 on each one. Okay, let's see. I had the smaller one here, this one here. Okay, this one's our biggest one. Now, if you're coloring, you know, bled a little bit, this is where you can use your butterflies to kind of hide some of that. It's like I had a little blur right there, so I could just put that one right there. And 2. Okay, I need this one now. I don't know that, I think that's going to be too big. So I'm going to just pull back in my small ones again. It may have fit, but I don't feel like messing with it. All right. That way. So my butterflies are kind of just going in all different directions. And now we're going to bring in our embellishments and kind of spark that up. And I mean, I could definitely use the pink. I could use whatever color I want. But I'm going to stick with my peacock here and my yellows. So I'm going to do that one right there. And then I'll do a small little yellow. I'm going to do a small peacock right there. And let's go to a large yellow. And we'll put that one up, oh, I don't know, right there. We'll do another medium one. Now this one I'm putting a lot on. 2 of the cards I used a lot more embellishments than I normally do. So on this one and this one, I'm just adding more. Just because I'm having fun with it. And actually, I think I'm kind of done. 1, 2, 3, yeah, I actually think I'm done with those. I don't want to add too much and overwhelm it, but okay. So let's bring in our 4 cards tonight. And again, this class is available through May 21st. It'll be sent right to you. You can add your bundle to the class if you'd like. It saves you like 17% because I pay the shipping and the tax on it. I just include it in your kit. All right, let's just move things off to the side. I know I have quite a bit of things out here, so I think I used just about every stamp tonight too. That's kind of fun. I don't know how many times I get to say that. Okay, so that was our 4th card. This was our 3rd card. I'm just putting my class kits away in order too. This was our second card here. I really like the way that turned out better than my original one. And my original one, I did put my little embellishments right on the butterfly. I like this way, way better. But totally up to you. You can use whichever way you want. And this was our first card here. All right. So that is our cards for this evening. I hope you enjoyed this class. And I look forward to seeing you soon. And don't forget Sunday, hop over here on Facebook, and I'll be uploading all those videos as I go as well to YouTube. So if you're on YouTube watching and you want to continue to watch just on YouTube, don't worry, I'll have it all up there. All right, take care and have a great Friday, Saturday, and I'll see you all on Sunday.